Hey friends, welcome back to another video. I am kind of back to real life after being gone for Christmas and New Year's. We ended up being gone for about 12 days, including our travel days, which is a lot longer than we normally do, but we had the opportunity. Just things kind of just lined up that way. I don't know that we've ever done that before, but things just lined up that way. So we took advantage of it and had a great time visiting with friends and family. When we go back to New York, you know, that's where we grew up. So we don't just have family there. We have a lot of friends there who we don't always get a chance to connect with when we have such a short window of time to see family. So anyways, it was really good. And it was absolutely freezing the first couple of days there. I think wind chills were -22. So that wasn't really fun being thrust back into that, but it warmed up as we were there into some really beautiful days. So anyways, that was all good. We are back home. I have a little bit of congestion. I'm not really sick. I just kind of have this, I don't know, this thing that I kind of had like a month ago just kind of came back. I think just all of the eating not well and not sleeping well and, you know, all the things that happen. Anyways, just to explain my slightly more nasally voice. But yeah, so we are back. I am still enjoying Christmas decorations. I know some people like want it down immediately. I do not. Plus we were gone for almost 2 weeks, so I feel like I missed out on some of that. So that's all still happening. In fact, I'm going the extra mile and still having Christmas music playing on my TV. So yeah, I don't apologize for it, but that's what I'm doing. I used to leave my Christmas stuff up till like maybe through March when we lived in New York, just because winters were kind of cold and long and dreary. The sun doesn't come out much, and it just kind of made being home more fun. I won't leave it up. I don't leave it up nearly that long now that we've moved to North Carolina, but probably in the next couple of weeks, whenever the mood strikes, I'll take it down. But I really love the cozy feel of like all of the Christmas lights on, so I'm in no rush. Anyways, I am making dinner. We've been home. Well, the first night, I don't know if we ate anything. What did we eat? Cereal? I have no idea. Oh, I think we had ramen. Something really weird for us. Anyways, last night I made breakfast stuff because I did have everything I needed for that. I still have not been in the store since we got back. That's something I'm going to work on tonight, is kind of going through the pantry and fridge and making a grocery list. And we're going to make dinner right now, or at least get started on it. I've got everything I need for some type of like a cheeseburger soup, but I'm not following exactly a recipe. So, yeah, let's do it. So obviously with being gone for a couple of weeks, I had to leave our fridge pretty empty, but I always try to leave some stuff in there that I know is gonna still be good. So we had some whole carrots. They'll stay good for a while, although I will be finishing them up tonight with this recipe. I also have some celery, which I haven't checked yet, but I'm assuming that's pretty good because celery usually is. And other things that are just like unopened. Like I had some almond milk, I have blocks of cheese, some lunch meat packages that weren't open, that kind of thing. I had some fresh eggs. Well, they were fresh when I got them, but you know, eggs are good for quite a while. So just things like that so that we had food and I didn't have to go straight to the store. But I'm gonna need to go tomorrow. But I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. Like I said, we did. We had, we have 2 nieces that have been born in the last 4 or 5 months, and one of which we had the opportunity to meet, one of which we hadn't yet. So that, of course, was really fun and great. And like I said, we got to see some friends that we haven't seen in a while. I guess, I don't know, maybe a year, more than a year, some of them. So anyways, it was a really good time, but I hope you guys had a nice Christmas as well, whatever that looked like for you. So I'm just cutting up whatever carrots I have, and it's, you know, some of them are really, really tiny. I have one big one, but I'm just gonna cut them up into small pieces because they will cook faster. Plus I like small pieces in my soup. All right, so I also cut up a couple pieces or stalks of celery. I am starting out by cooking up my ground beef. This is still quite frozen. I did not take it out early. So I'm going to get this at least broken up and then we'll start adding stuff in. I do want to cook some of the veggies into the ground beef, but it's still quite frozen. All right, now that the beef is, it's still not cooked obviously, but it's much more broken up. I'm gonna throw in some onion. I just had a small onion that something needed to be done with it before we went out of town. I didn't want it to go bad, so I just diced it up and froze it. Pulled it out just a little bit ago. It's still quite cold, but I don't think it's frozen. We're gonna cook that up with it. I'm also gonna go ahead and toss in this celery that I cut up. My deal with celery is I only like it really small and really cooked. I do not enjoy, it's kind of like onion. I do not enjoy raw. I do not enjoy the texture or the flavor, but it has a totally different flavor when it's cooked. So if I'm using celery and onion, I like to cut it up nice and small and make sure it is sauteed. So we'll cook that until our ground beef is fully cooked. And I'm not totally sure what I'm doing after that, but I know we're gonna add in carrots. I'll probably add the carrots in just a minute too, because I want them to be nice and tender. We'll add in some canned corn, and that'll use up the veggies that I have on hand. Like I said, we're gonna go to the store tomorrow. We need to work on a list. Ground beef is almost done. Onions and celery still have a ways to go, but I'm gonna go ahead and add the carrots in just to give them a head start. They'll cook more when we add in the broth, but give them a head start here. I don't really need a deeper pot, but I kind of wish I was using one with a wider base so that more things were on the bottom, but whatever. Pots, pans on my list someday, maybe this year, maybe not. I'm gonna add in some seasoning. We're going to season with some onion powder, some garlic powder, and some salt. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add in, excuse me, 4 cups of chicken broth. You could also use beef broth or veggie broth. And I'm gonna cover this and bring this up to a simmer and let that cook until the carrots are done. If you were using potatoes, which would be really good in this, but that's not something that I had on hand. Like I said, I haven't been to the store. Potatoes would be really good in this as well. I think potatoes are traditionally in a cheeseburger soup. I don't know. I don't ever make my soups the same way twice, but we're gonna let this go until our carrots are cooked. All right, so I have this turned down to a simmer here. The carrots are tender. I'm adding in a can of drained corn and some bacon pieces. It's nearly a whole package. I got butter melting over here. I gotta go back to that. I'm just gonna give this a stir and we're just gonna let that all hang out together on a low. All right, so I have 5 tablespoons of butter melted, and we're gonna whisk in about 5 tablespoons of flour. I won't do it quite all at once, but ooh, that got hot while I was adding that other stuff to that pot. We just wanna make ourselves a roux. Can add in just a little more. I didn't actually use a measuring spoon, so my measurements are approximate there. And now I'm gonna add in milk. I'm using almond milk because that's what I always use. But I do wanna use, I want about 2 to 2.5 cups. I am not measuring. I usually do, but I don't feel like it. And I'm gonna let that warm up. I'm going to add in 8 ounces of shredded cheese, which is about 2 cups. I am using sharp cheddar, but Monterey is good too. Monterey is really nice, creamy cheese. I'm just using a fork because that's what was in front of me. I used it to check the tenderness of the carrots. And we're just going to keep adding the cheese and mixing that together till that's all nice and creamy. Let me see, I might add some cream cheese to this too. All right, I'm gonna add in 4 ounces of cream cheese. This is gonna take a minute because it's not been softened. But I did cut it up into cubes to hopefully speed it up a little bit. I'm gonna just keep mixing at the bottom too to make sure nothing sticks down there. I already washed my whisk. I'm trying to like stay on top of my dishes, so a whisk would probably be helpful here, but I can use my fork and just making sure I'm getting the bottom so nothing sticks down there. And as soon as this cream cheese is all combined, I'll add it into the pot of soup. I have probably about 10 or 15 minutes until we're ready to eat. As you can see, there's a few clumps of cream cheese, but it'll all get worked in. But I decided I wanted to add some broccoli too, so I just pulled out a bag of frozen broccoli, and I'm going to, well, I don't want to say dump it in because it'll splash all over, but I'm going to get this into the pot and let that just sit for about 10, 15 minutes or whatever until we are ready to eat, to add some more veggies to the soup. Dinner was delicious. This was so good. And it comes out different just about every time I make it, but that was so good. All right, I need to make a game plan for grocery shopping tomorrow. So with us being gone and getting ready to go away, I haven't done a full, like a real grocery haul in probably a month. So what I have been doing is as I think of things, I jot them down and kind of separate them by stores. I pretty much do Walmart, Lidl, and Aldi. Not all of them all of the time, but I always do Aldi. I started with that, and then I go back and like reorganize it. Anyways, I need to take a look inside the fridge and pantry and figure out what we need. So I figured I'd show you my process. I don't do this every time, but I do it a lot of times. All right, so up here is like all my tomatoes, and I really need to start doing something with these. I got these, I think these are from Aldi, because this is the size jar that they have, or can, in the organic, but they're huge. So I need to find some things to make with these, or maybe like divide them up and freeze them or something. I don't know, but I am gonna get some other ones. Smaller cans are on sale at Lidl, I think this week, or is it next week? Either way, I will be getting some more just to stock the pantry, but I need to do something with those bigger ones. So I'm gonna need to do some recipes using some more tomato products. And I do need some of diced tomatoes with the green chilies. So I need to put that on my list. And then I don't have a ton of beans, but the ones I use mostly are black beans, and I am getting low on those, but I think those are on sale at Lidl also. Wow, it's really, my hands are looking like that of an older person with this dry skin stuff going on. Same thing with corn. So it's a little bit spread out, because as you can see, it's not very full. The fruit, I don't use that a ton, so I'm not too worried about that right now. I'll probably just pick up whatever canned stuff I can find on sale. And then my chai tea lattes, which I'm not drinking a ton of right now. You can drink them hot or cold, but I prefer them cold, and I'm just drinking other hot stuff right now. Tuna, my husband doesn't have that often. I don't like tuna, so that's enough. Probably will get more of the mac and cheese. I usually, just because I have space for it, usually have it to like right here to the edge. But it's not something we eat a ton of, but I go through spurts. And I could use a couple jars of marinara. So I'm gonna quickly add these things onto my list. And if I'm ever needing to do like a lower spend, if it's been like a higher spend month, then I don't put all of this stuff on the list, because obviously I don't need all of it, because it's not all like run out. I've got stuff, but I do like to maintain a certain amount of stuff. So if I can, then you know, I'll just get that much stuff. Seeing how much of those I need. I'll try 5. Anyways, so that's kind of my mindset behind it. If I couldn't go shopping, I would be fine for another little while, except for like fresh stuff. But I just try to make sure I'm rotating through everything. So, all right, let's go into the actual pantry. This is just a couple spots out here in the kitchen that I put heavier stuff in, like a lot of my canned goods. Whoops, I just totally put my hand over the camera. You guys, I just went on a huge long rant about my pantry and I wasn't recording. So here is my pantry. It is pretty well organized. For the most part, I've got like drinks and vinegar down there. This open cereal, some more drinks, which we go through not very quickly. So, lots and lots of snacks. I've got so many more that need to come and get put away that I have not put away yet from our trip, just from travels and just all like the Christmas goodies and clearance candy and whatnot. Anyway, so I won't be getting any like sweet snacks, that's for sure. But I only got a couple boxes of cereal down here. It's kind of organized. It's kind of a mess. Yeah, I'm running low on paper towels, but I always like to get those just when I find them on sale at Lidl. So hopefully that'll happen soon. So I need to go through and reorganize a little bit. This is supposed to have powdered sugar in it. This is supposed to have flour in it, but I'm running low. I've only got this much left in this one. I don't have any beef broth. I have one veggie broth and a little bit of chicken broth. I have everything kind of divided up odd because I'm always nervous about putting too much weight on one shelf. So anyways, I have chicken bones and beef bones in my freezers that need to be made into broth. So I need to just make a point of doing that soon, rather than buying more broth. Even though I like having both on hand, but I really, really need to make that happen. So I need to make a plan here. That's gotta go. I do not know how that happens. I really try hard. So that's gotta go. I am not doing a full clean and organize my pantry right now. Otherwise, this job is never going to get done. But I do need to do a little bit of it so that I can see what I've got and see what I need. I used to do a lot more cooking or baking, oh my word, with like almond flour and coconut flour. And apparently I've stopped. I need to look up actual expiration dates. You know, there's like the best if used by, but then there's like when they're actually good till. And then I need to just make some stuff with almond flour. And I think I have coconut flour in the fridge too. I need to do that. Remind me, guys, remind me. Because I'm fine if we're not using almond flour as much. For a while, we did not use any regular flour, and we've kind of gotten away from that, which I'm okay with, but I'm not okay with wasting stuff. So I need to get better. I need to do that. I need to make a note. Hang on. Making another list. This is how I do things. It's just lots of lists. So what I'm going to do is I'm making a list of some things that I need to be using, and I don't necessarily have to use it this week. When I go to make some meal plans, I want to remember that I need to use these things. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit more congested as the night's going on. So I might know almond flour, coconut flour, and tomato products so that I can be using that in the future. This is not a giant bottle of rum. It is my vanilla extract, which I need. This is my second round using the beans. I think I could use them a third, but I think I don't know if I want to do that. I need to find a new source for some vanilla beans online so I can make another bottle because it takes a few months to do its thing. So I need to do it ahead of time. But that's not a task for today. Same thing with coconut sugar. Guys, I apparently was eating healthier and cooking healthier, baking healthier. And got out of that habit because these things should not be expired, but they are. But again, they're probably still good. I just need to do a little research, but I need to use them and not wait. This was for something. I'm going to leave this in my baking stuff because I think that's why I got it. So, all right, that's kind of organized. This is a lot of like condiments and stuff. I don't keep a ton. You can see most things I just keep like one extra of, which is usually plenty for us. So I'm not really going to organize this. Everything's just kind of scattered here, but it's working. All right, so these are the only two things that I pulled out that I feel like I actually need to toss. I made a list of some things that I need to work to use up in the next little while. All right, now we're going to our refrigerator, which is relatively empty. There's some shrimp that I need to remind my husband he needs to eat. Maybe he'll eat those tonight. I got lots of butter, which will eventually be being moved to my freezer, but it is fine for now. Some things we brought back from our trip, and that's about it. Got some cookies there, some celery. This is pretty good. So I've got a good amount of cheese. I've got an unopened package of lunch meat. So that's pretty good. But as you can see, that's about it. That's the milk. Just opened this one. Well, not just, since we got home. Wow, did a good damage on that one already. So yeah, in pretty good shape, but I know I need some creamer. I've got this one. My refrigerator says it's been open too long. I don't have any more creamer. Usually it's back here. That's what I was looking for. I just have whipped topping back there. Anyways, oh, I meant to write my egg person. Oh, it's too late to write them. I don't know them well enough to text them this late at night. I was going to try to pick some eggs up from them tomorrow, but it might be too late for that. Anyways, yeah, don't have a lot of produce, obviously, so that's going to go on the list. But I'm going to go organize my list and see what we've got. All right, so here's how I typically do it. I divide it up by store, and I try to write things in the order of which they occur in the store. I originally just wrote produce down for Lidl, but then I remembered to write down a few things. There's quite a few items that they have that are on sale this week, like organic items, which is always a win for me because I do prefer organic. So quite a few things went on the list because of that. So one of the ways that I can buy that kind of stuff is just catching them when they are on sale. So that's that. And then here's Aldi. And it may vary a little bit, but this is my plan. And I'm going shopping tomorrow. Not sure when you'll see that video, but this is what I'm hoping to pick up. I have quite a bit in my freezers, meat-wise, that I really need to work through. So I'm planning to just see what produce I can come up with at the store. And then I'm going to start working through at least some of the stuff that I know that's older in my freezer and try to really work through that in this next month. So I'll kind of come up with my meal plan after I'll see what produce is on sale. Then I'll come home and match it up with the meat that I have that needs to be used and come up with a meal plan from there. But that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed spending your evening with me, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.